Okay, so what's up, guys? We're going to be talking about a free DLC Zombies map coming to Black Ops 4 Zombies very soon, potentially before the year even ends. So that means a DLC map in 2018, probably, December. I don't think it's going to happen in the next couple weeks, maybe the end of November. That seems a bit too soon, but the point is we could be seeing a map very soon. Now, the discussion and what we're going to be looking into is a bunch of different aspects of what this map could be. Either it's a secret map that we don't know about for a different story, obviously for one of the Chaos storylines or the Ether storyline, or it's for Nuketown, and that would most likely be for the Ether storyline, obviously. But there's obviously a lot of storyline, the implications that go into having an extra map, and there's also a lot of implications as to what this means for the Black Ops Pass, because the Black Ops Pass only guarantees 4 DLC maps for the season, so having an extra map would throw things off. So there's a lot of things we need to go through here, but first, before we go through any of that, we need to talk about the specifics and why we might be seeing this map. Just looking at the leaks, again, this is from leaked information, so nothing is confirmed. We may not see this ever happen, but we do know a couple of things for sure. So this leak helped us out a couple days ago. On Saturday, we saw the huge Treyarch employee leak. He was fired. He leaked a bunch of stuff. So I want to go through the evidence right now quickly for Nuketown being a map. So obviously, everything he leaked is true. He worked at Treyarch. He leaked a ton of Easter eggs. Those Easter egg guides went up the same day. So obviously it's real. Let me show you guys some of the comments up on screen from that Reddit post. It's currently planned to have one map in each DLC. Nuketown may have its own release, but we haven't begun testing it yet. So a bunch of stuff there. Next comment pretty much reaffirming that. We haven't started testing it yet, but there will 100% be a Nuketown Zombies map, and he's not so sure how they're going to release it. Each DLC map is supposed to have, map pack's supposed to have one Zombies map, and DLC 1 is going to be, and we already talked about DLC 1 in a separate video. But anyway, Nuketown, that's happening for sure. So where he's not so sure if it's part of the Black Ops Pass, but that's a big deal, because if it's part of the Black Ops Pass, this extra free map might not be Nuketown. It might be something else. So that's the information. I think Nuketown is a guarantee, Nuketown Zombies, and I want to talk about Nuketown Zombies in a second, but let's look at the evidence again for the secret map just in general. This could also be Nuketown. So this secret map, this free map, could be Nuketown. Just depends on the Black Ops Pass and how they're doing that. But Zombies Alert had a tweet, some cryptic tweet, and he put it I think it was like a month ago or something. He obviously has sources, has leakers that was giving him information for the Blood of the Dead Easter egg and different stuff like that before the game even released, before Black Ops 4 even released, and that all came true. So Zombies Alert doesn't tweet out random stuff. He's obviously a credible source, and this actually, this cryptic tweet here with all the different Morse code slashes and lines and stuff, that says, and it's translated to a map releasing before the year ends. We're going to get an extra free map before this year ends. That obviously is a very interesting sign to have, and at that time we weren't so sure what map that was, so that was a month before this leak. Now we know Nuketown is releasing. Not so sure outside of the Black Ops Pass or not. We're not so sure, like the guy said that worked at Treyarch, he's not so sure if Nuketown's gonna have its own release, but this secret map could be Nuketown, or it could be something separate. Obviously, Nuketown would be the Ether storyline. The secret map, maybe most likely would be a part of the Chaos storyline. So let's go through here the Nuketown map for a second. I want to go through a bunch of storyline stuff for this map, and we'll go back to talking about the other possibilities for a separate Zombies map coming to this game. So Nuketown, again, we know there's evidence for it existing, but what is going to happen on this map? We have two, I see there being two possibilities. One, Nuketown from what we saw before, just Black Ops 2 based Nuketown. We have the Nuketown, the new sort of Russian snowy version of Nuketown that we're getting for Black Ops 4 multiplayer. That would be pretty sick. I don't know how much that would relate to the storyline though, but that would be very cool to see. I just like the setting of that. I like the idea of that. And I talked about that in a different video, but it wouldn't really make much sense for the storyline. Although the Ether storyline, we're not really teleporting back in time anymore. We are sort of continuing the storyline. So whatever the time period is for that, Black Ops 4 version of Nuketown, in Russia, in the USSR, that could be very interesting, and that could make sense with the storyline. Now, right now, there's a connection between Nuketown and the Victus crew, the Transit crew, and Blood of the Dead. If we're going to see anything, if we're going to see this Ether storyline continue, it's going to be with the Victus crew after Blood of the Dead. After the events of Blood of the Dead, the Victus crew is obviously alive in these chambers, and these chambers are actually being powered by the drills on Nuketown. That's some information that I got from the Gaming Revolution, so I'll credit him down below. I forgot about that. I didn't even know that. That was a cipher from a while ago. That was some information that we talked about, and we didn't know it'd be relevant until now, but that makes a lot of sense. Now, this moving forward to Nuketown, Nuketown could be pretty much the next map up after Blood of the Dead. Now, how we actually get these characters out of Blood of the Dead and into Nuketown, I'm not so sure. Is Nuketown going to be, pretty much us playing as 4 characters, and the point is to power up those drills and, sort of bring them over to Nuketown? Or is Nuketown going to be us playing as the Victus crew, playing as the Transit crew, and actually, somehow we teleported out of there, we escaped Blood of the Dead between those 2 maps, and, that could be figured out during the actual Easter egg of Nuketown. And this also depends on Nuketown and how big of a release it is, because this could be a huge map. This could be a vital map into continuing this storyline and figuring out what goes on with these, characters, with the Victus crew after Blood of the Dead, after that huge event happens, after that traumatic event happens. I'm gonna play a little quick quote again. This is from Blood of the Dead. This is Stuhlinger. Him, just confirming that he's alive and he's trying to figure out where Richtofen is. I'm just gonna play half the quote, and I'll come back in a second. So here you go.
Richtofen! Hey, Richtofen! You've been gone from my head a really long time. I gotta be honest, I'm freaking out a bit, man. It's so quiet. I can actually hear myself think. You know what that's like? It's not nice at all. So, listen, buddy, old pal, we gotta talk. You sent us here, of all places, but you forgot to tell us what to do. It's dark, it's damp, it's just really filthy.
So again, guys, Richtofen dies. Stuhlinger is in shock. He doesn't really know what's going on, and I don't know if people are gonna tell him. I don't know how they're gonna figure this out. And there's really a lot of stuff. I don't know if they're gonna be in the dark on Nuketown, and then maybe in Nuketown these, sort of new not new characters, the 2.0 Origins characters, plus the Primus Richtofen, pretty much the guys that you see teleport out of the Blood of the Dead Easter egg ending cutscene. Those guys maybe meet up with the Victus Transit crew on Nuketown, and they sort of get them in the loop as to what's going on, and then they all go to fight, Dr. Monty or the Shaman or whoever the hell we're fighting at this point. However we get to the Great War, I don't know the specifics because it's in the future and they can pretty much do whatever they want, but I do think Nuketown would be a pretty vital map for that to happen. But for that to be the case, this map needs to be a huge map. It can't just be a simple remake. It can't just be the normal Nuketown multiplayer map. Like, if you think about Nuketown Black Ops 2, it was the multiplayer map but smaller. Like, they got rid of like those side areas. You can only go through pretty much the middle, go through the house to get to the other sides of the map. I mean, Nuketown and Black Ops 4, I think the multiplayer version of Nuketown probably going to be bigger. You can probably go underground. Obviously with Blackout, you can go down there in the bunker, and there's a huge bunker. I don't think maybe that's the case with Nuketown Zombies. This could be crazy. This could even be, its own release. Now, the leaker obviously doesn't know if it's going to be its own release, or if it's going to be part of the Black Ops Pass, or if it's like just some side separate remake map, because again, that's a big deal. Blood of the Dead was a huge map. It was a remake. It wasn't a remaster. Is Nuketown going to be a remake with whole new stuff, or is it just going to be a simple remaster with just the Victus crew and nothing really much going on, like no main Easter egg? Like, if it's a remake, they're going to have the bunker, it's going to be larger, it's probably going to have a main Easter egg, it's probably going to have its own cutscene as well. Like, it's probably not going to be a classified, it's probably going to be a huge map. And I do think, I don't think it's going to be for a DLC 2 or its own DLC, but it could be a large enough map, and it could be remade enough for it to be its own DLC release. Now, personally, I don't want that to happen. I don't want to sort of use up one of the DLC slots that we have. I want them to go through and make a new creative map every DLC. But if they're gonna do something, I think, you know, Nuketown would be crazy if they actually redo it. Obviously, for DLC 2, it would be right after DLC 1 with the Chaos storyline being continued. And DLC 1, it's a little weird because that map is also a prequel to Voyage of Despair, so they're not really advancing that storyline, and I don't really know what's going on with that. But with either storyline, that has to continue, that has to move forward, and if anything, DLC 2, regardless of it being Nuketown, regardless of, you know, the Victus crew being the playable characters, which I do think is going to happen anyway, even if it's Nuketown or not, I do think DLC 2 is obviously going to be an Ether map, and it's probably going to be the Victus crew if they make it out of Blood of the Dead. If there's no explanation as to how they make it out of Blood of the Dead, then maybe we won't play as them until DLC 4. I don't know. But as of now, I do think it's a good possibility that we do see these guys very soon. A side map, you know, potentially coming before the year ends, very possible. And whether or not, I mean, most likely it's the Ether storyline anyway, so even if it's not a Nuketown remake or remaster, I think that side extra map that's coming before the end of the year will be the Ether storyline, because the Chaos storyline's already going to be for DLC 1, so they're not going to do 2 Chaos maps in a row like that. So anyway, hopefully this happens. There's a lot of evidence for it, but we'll see what actually happens. We only have a couple months left, or a month and a half left or something till the year ends, so we'll see what the deal is. So that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, if you're watching at the end of this video, leave a comment below extra so I can see the cast that watched the whole video. Again, it's greatly appreciated. I see you guys when you commented below mansion. I saw that on that last video. At the end of the video, if you watched the whole video, you would know what I'm talking about. Thank you guys. It's honestly crazy that people watch the whole video. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.